Hey folks, this is Fernando doing another video for Tomorrow Survivalists. Very excited by what the mailman just dropped by in this box. Da-da-da-da. Kershaw lifter. Brand new Kershaw lifter. And if you remember, I have reviewed this knife before, recommended it quite highly. I think that Kershaw is a pretty good brand. I really like the blade geometry that you have here. I think it's very functional in many aspects. The construction, solid steel. The black wash finish looks very good as well. It's fast, and especially for the price. Back when I told you guys to just go and buy this knife, it was going for 18 bucks, give or take 20 maybe. Now it's going for 23 bucks, and it's still a great bargain. It's still a great deal. If you need an EDC knife, I still think you should have this. Now the funny thing is that a few days after recommending this knife so much, I actually managed to break it. I was just carving on a piece of wood, cutting for starting a barbecue, if I'm remembering correctly. I snapped the tip. Maybe I applied a little bit too much force. I've been using knives for quite some time. I think that I didn't use that much force though. And when looking at it on the inside of the tip where it broke, there was more of a grainy texture. I thought it maybe was a problem with the heat treatment. So what I did is send it back to Kershaw and let the guys there decide. If they believe that it was within warranty, I explained what happened. I told them that if they believe it was within warranty, then just fix the blade for me and send it to me. And if not, that was also okay. I wasn't really feeling very bad about it. It wasn't anything that I would be upset about. Now Kershaw, clearly enough, being the great company that it obviously is, they didn't even bother fixing the blade. They just sent me a brand new one in this blister. I actually sent one that came in a box. This is a new kind of packaging. So thumbs up there, Kershaw as a company. Since we're here already, we're going to be taking a look at this knife as well. Let's see what it says around the box. Own It Black Wash Series. The black wash really does look nice. And guys, this is the kind of thing that you sometimes see in very high-end knives. And you have it here in a 20-buck knife. That is very nice. Assisted opening with flipper and thumb stud. In some other language, apertura asistida con aleta y botón. Okay, nice enough in Spanish there. Limited lifetime warranty. They obviously live up to that, so great Kershaw there. Garantía limitada de por vida. All right, lifter. See what we have here in the back in terms of other information. Self-reliance is self-evident. Rebellion has a cause. Being prepared is a way of life. Okay, I love this. I clearly see them targeting the preparedness community, the survivalist community. Being prepared is a way of life. Being tested is to be expected. Fear is to be embraced. One opinion counts. Independence goes without saying, and there are no excuses. Own it. Okay, this is very nice. I got a little bit of poetry, and I think it's nice. They have like a philosophy of the knife. Steel, black oxide, black wash finish, handle, black oxide, black wash finish. There's not much information in terms of the steel used instead. Blade length is 3.5 inches, close 4.5 inches. Okay, and basically that's it. Yeah, it's clear enough that it's not some super steel, and it's if they're not even mentioning the steel that it is, it's maybe one of obviously one of the cheaper type of steels. But as long as it's well heat treated, guys, you don't need always the fanciest, most expensive steel in the planet. Actually, many times, many of the good blades floating around are just well designed knives with a properly heat treated blade. In terms of that, that's what counts the most. KUSA is not responsible for injuries. This is a KUSA company that owns Kershaw, and it's the same company that owns great brand knives like the zero tolerance knives. It's under the same corporation. This is of course just Kershaw. Let's open it and see what we have inside. Is there any easy way of opening this, or we'll have to go through the using my own knife there. Okay, let's get through this fast. With a sharp knife, it's always so easy. Anything that you're doing, as long as the knife is well sharpened, makes life so much easier. Remember what I said many times about the clip point that I added to the German Army knife being practical? Here you have a good example of what I mean by that. You know, all this detail type of thing that you want to be doing, much easier done. All right, there we go. Okay, we have this plastic material there in the tip so as to avoid any injury. Feels oily, that's good, you know, so as to protect it from rusting. And there we are. Kershaw lifter. Still highly recommended. Man, it's fast. The blade is just fantastic. I'm going to be a little bit more careful with that tip. When I did the review, I explained that this tip, you know, allows for that more delicate type of task, and it's really not that different in terms of concept from what I did here when modifying my own German Army knife. This tip, you cannot abuse it. You have to be careful about that, right? You know, it requires that at the same time you can do a little bit more of detailed cut things to it. Same thing applies here. You just have to be a little bit more careful and not force it too much. Well, folks, if you're looking for a 20-buck great EDC knife, I think this is the way to go. I don't think there's, I mean, if you know of something better in that price range, I'm always open to suggestions. Leave a comment below there. Tell me, you know, Fernando, there's this 20-buck knife that I think it's better than this one. And, you know, maybe that's the case. I haven't seen one yet, but if you do know of one or you think that there's one that may be up to that, why is it so good? Kershaw, the brand, obviously, when you have problems, lives up to it. Love that. Blade is, I mean, I'm still looking it through the camera. I just love it. It has that recurve that allows you for, you know, if you ever have to use it for that kind of purpose for slashing, it's going to be slashing well. If you have to cut rope, you know, thinking of more utility type of things, cutting rope, hoses, plastic, anything like that, you can put a good amount of force in there in that curve. That's not going to be snapping, you know. That's the kind of thing that this blade is well capable of taking. Be a little bit careful of not abusing too much that tip. And this is not just because of, you know, maybe in my case I had a little bit more of a heat treatment problem. I think that was the case because of the grainy texture on the inside, but it's also a matter of geometry. With this kind of geometry, you cannot abuse that sort of modified tanto tip too much. Now here in this section of the blade, go nuts. You're not going to be busting it, at least not there. It's not flat grind, which sometimes you see, and I really don't like that much. Made in China, who cares? Yeah, well, maybe you do care, you know, that's not a problem, but you do have always options. You have your made in China stuff, you have your made in US stuff. Maybe you're going to be paying a little bit more for it, but the clip only has one position, which, you know, I wish it could have been reversible. Maybe that's something I could actually do, make a couple holes there. I think I mentioned that in the previous video. You have a frame lock design, and it actually travels about, you know, I'd say 80%. All steel construction. So you have a frame lock design, the kind of thing that you see in zero tolerance knives, the 0561, 0560, and some of the higher end knives have a frame lock, and they also have this over travel stop button there so as to stop it from overextending when you unlock the blade. And when you do that, and again, costs, you know, 10% of one of those more expensive knives. You have that flipper there, and it's assisted opening. It opens very, very fast. Just snaps into place. And as you just saw, I just got it out of the box. I haven't even used this any reasonable amount of time, so as to see that you have a little bit of wear, you know, of a braking period. Great as it comes out of the box. Yeah, I wouldn't be using much though the thumb stud. Yeah, you can open it clearly enough. It is on both sides ambidextrous, so yeah, not very handy there. I think it's just, I find it to be a little bit too close to the frame. So yeah, I see right-handed. Yeah, my right hand is no good for this kind of thing. But the flipper is clearly the way to go here. You have a, you know, the flipper is fast. It's gets the job done there. It is a deep carry pocket clip though. You see, you're gonna be going down up to there. Black wash works very well. It looks like something that you picked up from in the desert or in the wasteland in a Mad Max type of movie thing that you would be seeing. This is the kind of thing that you have to keep oiled. Clearly it had a little bit of a layer of oil on its own when it came, but you should have, you know, say anything, black wash, steel, black oxide. Opens very fast. So yes, folks, that's gonna be it. I think that for a 20-buck EDC knife, you really cannot go wrong with this. Check in Amazon the reviews. People obviously seem to be liking it a lot, just like I do. You know, overall seal construction, not a lot to go wrong in terms of the materials here, of course, other than breaking the actual knife. And the handle is quite comfortable. It has that depression there, so keeping your knife securely locked there with a frame lock. The only thing I really miss is that the availability, the possibility of, you know, moving it from here to there, reversing the pocket clip. Other than that, guys, fantastic knife, fantastic company. Definitely recommending it to all of you folks. That's gonna be it. Take care. Have a great day. Gonna be leaving the link below in case you want to be getting this from Amazon. And that's gonna be it. See you on our next video.